over that area, and some of that does feed its way toward us. We felt some of those storms yesterday, and it brought some rain. You can see the most significant rainfall was actually focused near and north of Route 2, where we did get close to half an inch of rain, a little bit less out toward Boston, just about 0.2 of an inch. But the damage reports here are mainly in the form of wind, so that was the bigger factor with the thunderstorms that developed. Notice the focus of that north and west of Boston. We're going to see a shift with that today. We have a few showers that are moving up into northern New England right now, but what we're watching next is this area of storms that's developing out through Chicago, and notice it's starting to feed its way through the Great Lakes. That will eventually follow a track eastward, and while the most severe weather is expected out through Chicago yet again and stretching down through areas of the plains, some of this could make its way eastward towards southern New England. And unlike yesterday, where the focus of the storms were mainly north and west of Boston, the potential for thunderstorms tonight will be mainly south of the Pike. That's where we see the best chance, and it's really out through Connecticut where we expect some more of that heat to build during the afternoon today. With any storms that hold together and hold their strength, lightning, gusty wind, and hail will be possible, and it's something we're watching for this evening and even into the overnight hours. Over the next 12 hours, we have an east wind that's spreading inland. It's a backdoor cold front, and you'll see with our temperature map just how much of an influence that's having on our temperatures already. We'll see our next threat for showers and storms tonight, and again as we move toward Friday, I do think we'll see a little bit of a lull on Thursday, and then we're looking ahead to your weekend, a more seasonable outlook Saturday as we drop back down into the upper 50s to low 60s before rain on Sunday. Here's that backdoor cold front. So it is just now making its way through the North Shore. So if you're out toward the tip of Cape Ann, you're feeling all of a sudden this really cool air starting to rush in as we're dropping quickly through the low to mid 50s. 58 right now in Gloucester, quite a bit cooler than what we're seeing as you travel out along 128, where most locations are in the upper 70s. Here in Needham, where our studio is located, we're sitting at 77. Meanwhile, move down the Pike toward Boston, there's that 53. So that front is bringing in that wind off the ocean that will continue to move inland. I think we might gain a degree or two for our inland spots today, but this is pretty much as warm as it's going to get as we're going to see more of that cool air rushing in from the east. So let's time out what's next here. You'll see a few showers popping up. I think the focus of that will really be into northern New England as we travel through the afternoon. Notice it's still in the 70s inland, maybe close to 80 in Fitchburg, but we're cooling down at the coastline. We might actually see a few 40s at the immediate coast, stretching down toward Provincetown. We'll continue through the evening, that chance for showers and storms blossoming as it moves toward the Pike and southward. This is around 4 o'clock this evening. There might be some thunder contained within this, some small hail and some gusty wind. And notice that starts to diminish as we move towards 7 o'clock. So the coverage of this and the duration of this not comparable to what we saw last night. Next chance of storms moving in overnight tonight as early as 11 in western Massachusetts, extending through the area overnight. This coverage is a little bit more widespread. I think with this overnight round, it's going to be more in the form of heavy rainfall in spots, but it does appear to clear out for a Thursday. So I do think we'll have some clouds around and certainly a big range in temperatures from the coast to inland. But in terms of rainfall, we're not seeing much during the daytime hours for your Thursday. So our next chance of showers moving in overnight Thursday into
part of the team. All right, turning now to the weather really quickly here because, you know, temperatures are not going to last the way it is.
There's a lot to follow, and the storms stream right over the plains and then feed their way into the Midwest and toward areas of the Great Lakes as well. So unfortunately for Chicago, that means nearly every day they've been dealing with these storms that are very strong to severe, and as you saw, also producing flooding. That's the case out there again for tonight. We are looking at a severe weather potential out there. You can see how this does stretch eastward, and it's just barely making its way toward areas of southern New England. For tonight, while we're not expecting a widespread severe weather threat, some of these storms that are strong as they develop through areas of New York and even out through Pennsylvania could hold together as they shift eastward. It looks like the best potential for that will actually be from the Mass Pike southward. So a bit of a flip from what we saw last night, where most of the storms were north and west of Boston. The threats with any storms that hold their strength, lightning, gusty wind, and hail. You'll see some rain out there, of course, then that will be heavy at times, but I'm not expecting anything in the way of flooding. We have a spot shower or two moving through the area right now as you cross the border into Vermont and New Hampshire. You can see that is approaching Manchester shortly, stretching right up into the Lakes region as well. As far as our chances for rain today, it's going to be on the rise as we travel into this evening. So I expect, especially after 4 p.m., we'll see a better chance for showers that start to blossom with a chance of thunder thunderstorms. This is a look at the energy for storms. It's what we call CAPE. And basically, I want to show that where we're starting to see some brighter colors here in western Massachusetts, that's indicating that as early as 5 o'clock, there's more energy focused in this area. So that's where we have the best chance of severe weather into the early portions of the evening commute. That will try to shift a little bit farther eastward. It could start to penetrate areas of Worcester County and into Connecticut, but I believe that's where we're going to see the focus of the best chance of any stronger storms for tonight. Notice that chance diminishes as we move toward midnight tonight, despite a chance for some overnight showers. The next thing on our radar of the next 12 hours, well, it's not just the showers and storms. We're also watching a backdoor cold front playing a huge influence here on our temperatures, as we are seeing temperatures falling through the 50s even as you move out through the North Shore along the tip of Cape Ann, and those 50s are feeding into Boston. Notice we have now dropped into the low 60s in places like Milton, where we were just in the upper 70s at the top of the hour. We are still holding on to those upper 70s as you move from 128 inland, but this is pretty much as warm as it's going to get. Upper 70s, might get a little closer to 80 in some of these western suburbs before that backdoor cold front continues to move a little bit farther inland. So we're watching a temperature drop. Look at this, Boston dropping into the upper 40s possibly, and that's the case for Provincetown as well as we move toward the 2 o'clock hour. A shower or two can't be ruled out, but you'll see the coverage of these showers expanding as we fast forward toward 4 o'clock. So that's the chance of showers moving in with a few rumbles of thunder, especially from the Mass Pike south. Small hail can't be ruled out, some lightning, gusty wind. That diminishes as we move toward about sunset tonight, so between 7 to 8. Then we're looking ahead to some overnight storms that could contain some heavy rainfall, but I don't expect severe weather during that overnight forecast. We're looking ahead to another warm day inland tomorrow, but at the coastline, it is going to be cooler. We're still stuck in the 60s here, perhaps a few 50s on the outer Cape and Nantucket. In terms of the potential for rain tomorrow, not looking all too impressive, less than a 20% risk. So I think we might see a spot sprinkle or two